I woke up and in my fridge there was literally a bucket of tomatoes. I guess one of the neighbors or just someone, a friend of the family, brought their gardens tomatoes to my parents, and my parents sent me some, so gotta use them. And of course, we're gonna be making all types of stuff with these tomatoes. But I'm going to be making pizza, homemade pizza. So, I could put this garlic in here. Obviously, you have to season it. Even this is seasoned. Like, this is some of that homemade, not homemade. I'm making my own of this, basically. And this is even seasoned. So, it was seasoned with onion and garlic. You can see some of the other ingredients. But, yeah, I'm not going to use a garlic clove. I will opt for garlic powder because I feel as if using my last clove for this is kind of a waste. At some point, I imagine I will be adding water. And I know that sounds really stupid because you're like, oh, tomato is full of water. Why are you adding any more water? Well, actually, as I'm cooking it, they're gonna kind of get dry, and I don't know. Then I want to season it with some parsley and rosemary. But this is not really that important of a task, and at the end of the day, you could really use this. Get the fuck around me if you ain't gonna make me rich. Alright, straight. Now, I have opted for an electric mixer. You're probably like, what are you gonna do with this bowl? But this is the most important part. You gotta make your crust. Now, most people will tell you, oh, you need some yeast. You need some yeast if you're gonna make pizza crust. But I am going to challenge that. And I have been for the past couple of, I'd say maybe 2 weeks. I've just been trying to make pizza without yeast. Now, I have yeast, but I just don't want to use it. To activate it, you need warm water and to stir and all that. Yeah, nah, I'll be fine without it. Every time I don't really measure either. I just know there's some key things that you need when you are going to mix your mix. You need some olive oil at the bare minimum, and salt, and maybe you could use baking powder. But if you don't have olive oil and salt, then you're kind of, that's like at least at the bare minimum what you needed. So you shouldn't be making pizza crust. The sink, just gonna use some warm water. To the warm water, you add your oil. You add your salt. I actually, there's this phrase or term, aga, and it basically just means so. I don't remember where I learned that. It was probably from Gordon, but Gordon's old and washed up, so that's probably why I don't remember if it was him that told me. But yeah, so you guys are going to be cooking to your own proportions, and you don't need an electric mixer, but I'm using an electric mixer because I'm going to be making a larger crust than what I would use my hands for. So, yeah, you guys figure this part out yourselves. Now, I am using pancake mix along with my flour because I believe that maybe, just maybe, that sweet taste will do my pizza a little good. I don't know. I also just want to try something different this time, so. Now, eventually, of course, you're going to season your flour mixture. You don't want bland bread. I mean, hey, some people don't like flavor. Well, this ball came out perfectly fine. But the problem is that I have far more paste or tomato juice mix than I will be needing for that. So I'm gonna have to make noodles or another pizza later or something like that. But yeah, let's get this in the oven. I have my oven preheated to 400. Obviously, you're going to cook this a little bit before you put everything else on top of it. Boy. So, a pizza is like ramen. There are multiple components. You can't just say, "Oh, I got these noodles and now I have the best ramen in the world." Now, I know that people all have their own opinions, and there's all types of ways you can create or prepare a meal, but there's one undeniable truth, and that is that a pizza has multiple components. And so while we have just got the crust and the sauce done, there are two more categories. Two more. You have your cheese that you have to pick out, and then you have your toppings. And I separate the two because I don't think that you can say that cheese is a variable that is interchangeable. I've never seen a pizza that had no cheese, but I've seen a pizza that didn't have any toppings other than cheese. So obviously I'm using bacon, sausage, mushroom, bell pepper, jalapeno. That's what we got for this pizza here. And I'm going to use Italian mixed cheese and pepper jack. So you will see. Now this is the crust. It came out. Obviously I flipped it over once I pulled it out because you're going to use the bottom side to put your toppings on. If you don't flip it over, then the side that looks more uncooked will remain less uncooked. Will remain more uncooked. I don't know. It's hard to explain these type of things. As a Michelin star chef, I've worked in various restaurants, and I've done a lot of different cooking methods. And you know, one thing that always surprises me is when you meet a grown adult and they just don't understand something as simple as taking these ingredients and cooking them before you put them on the pizza and put the pizza in the oven. Now, some would say, how come you cooked this but you didn't put your toppings on and have this cook and have these toppings cook along with it? Now, that's hard to explain, but keeping it easy is just, there's certain elements that I can get out of all these foods through a different cooking process than baking it. So if I just cut this up and put it on here, it would still have the texture and probably that really like bold flavor that a pepper has, you know what I mean? So you fry it off before you put it in the oven. Now you could cook it partially then put it on. You can do whatever you want. I can't tell you how to cook a pizza. I can only tell you what a pizza is. But for me, I'm going to be frying this off completely, finishing it completely before I put it on the pizza. That's just the way that I prefer it. Some people enjoy biting into uncooked bacon on their pizza, and they enjoy hard mushrooms and completely uncooked jalapenos. Toppings done. Sauce done. I'm going to layer sauce, pepper jack, sauce, toppings, and then Italian. So that's just going to be my order. I will be back when I am done. You guys, I hope you enjoyed making pizza, and I hope you enjoyed this video, or enjoyed this video. This is about the end of it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the pizza. Eating off a paper plate because it's like a party.